catches Manny Parra. And the first pitch is swung on by Felipe Lopez. One pitch, one out, and away we go here in Milwaukee. Craig Counsell gets the start at short. Just a day off for J.J. Hardy. Ken Maka is trying to get J.J. some extra days off here and there. He also likes the extra left-handed bat in the lineup, especially against tonight's starter, John Garland.
Yeah, just giving J.J. a day off, maybe just to collect his thoughts. He's come out of the gates a little bit slow with the bat after a big spring training. Always great to have Craig Counsell able to fill in.
Here's Eric Burns. He gets the call tonight in left field with the left-handed starter on the mound. Burns pinch hit yesterday. And it's that three-man weave between first base and left field between Chad Tracy, Eric Burns, and Connor Jackson. C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire here tonight. Mike Everett over at first. The crew chief, Jerry Davis, at second base, and Brian Gorman over at third. Gorman was behind the plate last night. Well-pitched ball game. The Brewers took advantage of a Diamondbacks meltdown in their bullpen in the seventh. But the only inning the Brewers scored was the seventh. 4 runs on 3 hits, and they won 4-1. The Crew now 4 straight wins, and they've won 8 of their last 9.
Man, that's the way you have to go about beating the Diamondbacks. You get that starter out. Max Scherzer outstanding yesterday. And once that bullpen got involved, he's kind of went astray.
Both starters last night pitched well. Scherzer went 6 shutout. And Jeff Suppan, 6 1/3, gave up 1 earned run. That was that leadoff homer by Lopez. Then Suppan settled down, pitched very well. Scherzer in the middle there, talking to Dan Herron, who will be on the mound tomorrow. So the Brewers will have their hands full tomorrow, one of the game's best on the bump. Saturday night here in Milwaukee. Eric Burns' injuries last year really set him back. He had injuries to both hamstrings a year ago. After signing a 3-year deal, and Manny Parra strikes him out, and there's that pitch you're talking about, Rob.
Yeah, that changeup that Manny has been using pretty well his last couple of times out, and when he puts it in this location, virtually unhittable, a little bit off the outside corner. He's got good arm action on it, and he's thrown that pitch a lot better, or he's a lot more comfortable with it than the splitter lately.
I was talking to Ken Maka the other day, and we were talking about Manny Parra. He really likes where he's headed. He thinks he can be a front-of-the-rotation type guy. He and Gallardo, these 2 young talents. He advised Manny Parra to watch as often as he can how Cole Hamels goes about his business. Cole Hamels, last year's World Series MVP, was also the NLCS MVP. And a guy who uses the changeup very well, and it allows him to be very economical, but still reach back for his big fastball when he needs it.
Yeah, there are similarities. I mean, neither one of them throw overpoweringly hard, and they both have changeups, but Manny Parra's got a little ways to go to get to that Cole Hamels stature with that changeup.
I think for Maka and Bill Castro, those two trying to convince Manny Parra to trust that changeup, and that sometimes to get a big league hitter out, less actually does work. Less is more.
And follow Jason Kendall. Just let him do half your job for you. He'll figure out what you need to throw. You just put it where he wants it.
Oh, it's that fastball right there. That's a good indicator of Manny Parra's stuff. There's a big league hitter and a 3-hole hitter in the major league lineup, and Connor Jackson. He's up there in a 3-1 count and gets jammed on a fastball.
Yep, 92 miles an hour. I mean, really not overpowering, but after that changeup, and Jackson watching Manny throw those changeups, is a little bit quicker.
Lays off a changeup here and a 2-out walk. Now Manny hoping to be able to stretch things out a little bit tonight. Pitch count is always a big issue for him. And talking to Manny the other day, he's trying to keep it under the 20 pitch limit per inning. You start getting into the 20-25 pitches per inning, you're looking at a short night.
Yeah, particularly when they're early in the ball game, first, second inning, it takes a little bit more out of you when you have pitch counts like that early on.
And Manny throws that one away. Jackson on his way to second. So that'll be an error on the Brewer pitcher.
And kind of Jackson out of base steal. I'm not sure why Manny's throwing over there. Had a decent lead. It was a one-way lead going back on the first move, and not even close to Prince.
Mark Reynolds, a guy who swings and misses a lot. He's among the league leaders in strikeouts, but he packs plenty of punch as well. Reynolds with 5 home runs, 12 RBIs. Diamondbacks come in with the league's worst team batting average. They're hitting .231 as a team and the lowest on base percentage in the National League. .308 on base percentage as a group.
Well, they're young, they swing hard, they strike out a lot, but they got some pop in their bats. They can hit some home runs. Not a team that's going to single you to death. They're not going to string a lot of hits together ordinarily, but you make a mistake on them, you walk a couple of guys, one of these guys could take you deep.
Now the 25-year-old Reynolds on the road. Now the Diamondbacks don't have much of a sample size this year. This is only their 5th road game of the season, believe it or not. And down he goes. Manny Parra strikes him out. So 2 strikeouts for Manny Parra and a scoreless first inning. Here come the Brewers. John Garland, Ken Maka, and Willie Randolph putting this lineup together tonight. Craig Counsell in there for J.J. Hardy. That's the big change in the lineup. Weeks, Hart, and Braun at the top. Fielder, Cameron, and Counsell in the middle. Cameron's having a great run the last 6. A .409 average, 7 driven in. Paul Kendall and Parra round out Maka's 9 tonight, and it's John Garland on the mound for the Diamondbacks.
And the Piggly Wiggly scouting report on John Garland, the right-hander for the Diamondbacks. He pitches to contact, doesn't strike many outs, got a pretty good sinker, so ground balls aplenty when he's on. And he's an innings eater. Throughout his career, he had 7 straight years of more than 190 innings.
Most of that with the Chicago White Sox. He spent 8+ years with the White Sox. And a big part of their World Series year in 2005 when they won the World Championship. First year as a Diamondback and a key offseason pickup for Arizona. And one of the main reasons why Bob Melvin and the D-backs are so confident that there is a turnaround imminent. They have a great pitching staff, a lot of talented workhorse type arms in that staff. D-backs are still without Brandon Webb, who's going to be down until possibly early June with a shoulder injury.
It's tough to be without your #1 starter, but as you mentioned, this starting rotation is pretty good. Their pitching problems starting the bullpen.
Ricky Weeks slaps one out to Lopez, and it's out #1. Here's how the Diamondbacks stack up defensively, a group that has not made an error in the last 80 innings. That covers 8 games. Burns, Young, and Upton in the outfield with Reynolds, Wilson, Lopez, and Jackson around the horn, and it's Chris Snyder catching John Garland. Shortstop Josh Wilson made a couple of terrific plays last night. Bob Melvin, who saw his club commit 11 errors early in the season, error-free in the last 8.
Goes hand in hand, doesn't it? Good pitching and good defense. Always in the game. That's what the Brewers have been getting lately.
Corey Hart ahead of the count, 2 balls and no strikes. Corey comes in with 3 home runs, 8 RBIs, and a batting average of 284, and an on-base percentage, Rock, about 100 points higher than that. He's a 379 on-base clip right now.
And a lot of the Brewers seeing the baseball very well. Mike Cameron seeing it well. Big walk for Prince Fielder yesterday, late in the ball game, bases loaded. Lefty versus lefty. Prince, that was the turning point in the ball game last night. Brewers walking more at this point this year than they have in the past.
Well, they've got a couple of guys on pace for a 100-walk season, and they're about 30+ in walks than they were last year. Hart slightly off the end of the bat, but it's carrying well. Upton runs it down. Hart didn't get it all and still hit it to the wall. Don't forget, you can send your text questions tonight during the game and the postgame show. You text us at 234-234. The keyword is Brewers. Please be sure to give us your first name and city. 234-234, keyword Brewers. We'd love to hear from you. Still filing in Miller Park. See, the panels are open and the roof is closed, but it's a nice night out. Maybe just a touch on the cool side to open up the roof. Ryan Braun steps in with 2 outs before the game, winning the Silver Slugger for his position. That's a great honor for Ryan Braun.
Won't be the last one he gets.
That's rewarded to the best hitter at that position, and Braun, as an outfielder, part of the Silver Slugging team last year. What a year he had. He was up there among MVP considerations again. And many feel, and I'm one of those, that without that injury the last month of the season, he might have pushed through as the most valuable player last year.
Still had a big last week of the season when it counted most for the Brewers, getting him into the postseason. Every Brewer fan remembers that week.
Former National League Rookie of the Year. And you got to think, as long as Braun stays healthy, he'll be a perennial MVP candidate.
Well, high fastball from John Garland. Garland really not at full stride yet. He's walked an awful lot of batters. Ordinarily, he doesn't walk hardly anybody.
That's off the foot of Braun. 2-2. Well, it kind of goes back to what you were talking about in the open with the Brewers pitchers. It takes a little while sometimes for command pitchers to dial it in.
Yeah, good that Ryan had that shin guard. Bound it right off. Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, most of the Brewer pitchers, even in the bullpen, are control pitchers, and it takes a little bit longer to get into the groove at comfort level in the regular season, but yeah, they certainly have found it now, particularly that starting rotation.
There's a shot back up the middle, a base hit. So Braun singles with 2 outs, and he gives Fielder a chance.
This is the idea. You have to make Garland get the ball up, particularly early in the count. He gets it down around mid-thigh. He's got pretty good downward sink on his fastball. That's when he gets his ground ball outs. But when he elevates it, those are the ones you got to take advantage of, and that's what Ryan did.
And Fielder an at bat here in the first. Prince at 234, 3 home runs, a little bit under his normal pace, although he's been a slow starter the last couple of years. But he's driven in 17 runs, and he is the club leader in that category. You just might get your wish with Prince Fielder. Prince took the collar last night, but he did walk with the bases loaded. That forced home the winning run. What would be the winning run?
Yeah, that was one of Prince's better at bats all year. And when you talk about a walk being a good at bat, had the lefty in against him, and he took some very tough pitches. Pitches didn't miss by much. Showed very good patience and got that run in.
Now Fielder, despite being among league leaders in strikeouts, he's also among league leaders in walks. He has walked 17 times this year. That's 5th best in the National League. And he's one of 3 Brewers that are on pace for 100 walks this year. It's never happened to a Brewer player in franchise history. Little bouncer, and that's going to find the hole. Braun on his way to third. He'll make it without a throw. Fielder with a single, and the Brewers drumming up something here in the first inning.
Well, again, make Garland get the ball up in the strike zone, and you have a pretty good chance of getting a good swing at it. Another pitch up. Right down the middle of the plate. They had the shift on Prince with Lopez in the hole by first base and able to sneak it into center field. Garland's given up an awful lot of base hits already. That's his 30th hit that he's allowed in just shy of 25 innings.
So the Crew with back-to-back singles. 2 on for Mike Cameron, the hottest Brewer right now. Cameron at .333, 5 home runs. He's driven in 15 this year. And Cameron coming off a 3-hit night last night. Struck out his first time up, then he doubled, singled, then doubled in 2 runs. Part of that 4-run 7th inning. And his double was the exclamation point in that 4-run 7th. Mark DeFelice picked up the win, his 2nd of the year last night. Trevor Hoffman saved number 2. And the Brewers 4-0 on this homestand.
Yeah, the key to his success has been pitches just like the one he just took. Didn't miss by much. You swing at that, it's an easy ground ball out of the inning. But Cameron showing good patience at the plate, not swinging at anything other than strikes.
And Firestone leaderboard up above. Cameron tied for the league lead in extra base hits. 9 of those 14 doubles, which is 2nd best in the league. And Cameron lifts this one to left field. Burns on the run, and he's got it for the final out. Gave it a ride. A couple of Brewers gave it a ride, but a scoreless first. We head to the 2nd. Question. Anne-Marie Daly in Brookfield wants to know, is pitching contagious? Are the Brewers feeding off each other right now? I hope not. Pitching's contagious, wouldn't you say, partner?
Well, you know, it's one of those things where, you know, you go out there and you make your start. You don't want to be the guy to let down the ball club. You've had so many good starts in a row. I mean, it's one of those things where the theme around town and around that clubhouse is that we're going to be in a ball game because our pitching is so good. You don't want to be the guy to go out there and lay an egg. Jeff Suppan pitched a dandy last night. It's been kind of a trend. They challenge each other. They don't want to be the guy to drop the ball.
Now, the pitchers weren't so much verbal about it this spring, but Jason Kendall was plenty animated about the, what would you say, the preseason prognosticators and their thoughts on the Brewers pitching staff. Kendall could not understand why the pitchers, and especially this group of starting pitchers, were talked about so much in a way that he didn't appreciate. He likes this pitching staff and has from day one. There's a drive into right. Hart drifting back, and he's got it. Corey Hart eases back and makes the play.
Well, I think the so-called experts, I don't think that we're really basing their assessment on the individual pitchers that were with the Brewers rather than thinking about how this pitching staff stacks up to last year's pitching staff with Sabathia and Sheets. So just by assumption, they say, and if those two guys aren't here, that pitching staff can't be any good.
Right.
Which is not true.
And Doug Melvin pointed out this winter, and something we talked about at the end of last year, you know, Sabathia and Sheets were rarely together last year. And of course, Gallardo basically missed the entire season. So you never had all three guys in the same starting rotation. Briefly, there was Sheets and Gallardo. And then, of course, when Sabathia was traded, briefly Sheets and Sabathia, but then Sheets ended up injured and on the disabled list down the stretch. Aces don't grow on trees.
No. The Yankees are learning that.
Two balls and two strikes on Chris Young. He's up there with Mike Cameron among league leaders in doubles. He's tied with Cameron for second in the league with 9 doubles. For a lot of scouts, Chris Young reminds them of a young Mike Cameron. Free swinger with some pop, center fielder who can run, good defender. There's the doubles leaderboard. Freddie Sanchez continues to post the extra base hits.
He's got about a dozen years to play before he starts getting thrown into the Mike Cameron category, though.
And Parra strikes him out.
He does have a lot of ability, but the one thing that he needs to learn is to take the ball to the opposite field. I mean, it's a good changeup that Manny was able to throw to him there on the outside corner. Likes to pull the baseball. Like a lot of these Diamondback hitters, you can't pull that pitch and be effective. So far, Manny has a very good changeup.
And already 3 strikeouts, and all 3 strikeouts have come on the changeup. Fastball strike. Chris Snyder, the large Diamondback catcher at the plate. Guy reminds you of Lance Parrish when he steps in there. You don't see many big catchers like this anymore.
No, you don't.
Bill Schroeder types.
He's 6'4", 250.
Well, you remember a few years back when the Brewers traded with the Diamondbacks and picked up Johnny Estrada. The reason the Diamondbacks wanted to rid of Johnny Estrada was the man at the plate, Chris Snyder. He was an up-and-comer. They thought he was going to be the catcher of the future. Matter of fact, they had 2 catchers, Miguel Montero and Chris Snyder. They weren't sure who was going to develop as the everyday guy. Snyder has taken that baton. And unlike most organizations, the Diamondbacks have 2 really talented young catchers.
Well, Bob Melvin, a former catcher, knows everything that you need to know about catchers and how to evaluate a good catcher or not. And Chris Snyder, very solid defensively. And another guy with some pop in his bat, but you can pitch to him. Get ahead of him. Don't let him extend his arms. If you make a mistake to him, look out. Snyder, a right-handed hitter. Montero, the backup, a left-handed hitter.
2-2 the count with 2 outs. And a fastball missed for Parra. 93-mile-an-hour fastball. Got him. Another changeup. Strikeout number 4 for Manny Parra. He is rolling right along. 4 punch-outs, 1 walk, 2 scoreless innings. We head to the bottom of the second.
Swain, and he says Hall has made all the right adjustments and he's done a great job keeping his head on the ball, and Hall has done just that, hitting in 19 of the first 22 games this season, and he's a big reason the bottom half of the lineup is a dangerous one. BA and Rock.
Okay, Telly, thanks a lot, and you're right. Bill Hall, from the day he stepped on to the field in Maryville in Arizona, he said, physically, I'm better off, and my eyesight is so much better. He was brimming with confidence as Counsell dumps one down the line. That's going to fall, a base hit. Burns was shallow, but Counsell sneaks one in there, and a base knock for the Brewer shortstop.
Well, he's one of those guys, John Garland, where you got to get him early before he settles in. That's not a bad pitch, actually. A sinker off the outside corner. Counsell able to cover the plate and just dump it down the line. Diamondbacks had him shaded to the line, but Burns just couldn't get there. It always helps when you can see, right? Talking about Billy Hall. When you can see, I guess it's a little easier to hit. What do you think?
Changes your whole perspective. He says he's a much better driver, too.
Wow, I could see.
His video game excellence is beyond reach. 304 hitter, 3 homers, 8 RBIs. He's done most of his extra base damage in the last 2 weeks. Hall has played a terrific third base as well. Settling in that position. And Telly hit on a good point, Rock, that the bottom of the order has been productive for the Brewers. And any time, especially in this powerful lineup, you get men on base at the bottom of the order. Obviously, that turns over into men on base for the top of the order, the guys who are paid to drive in runs.
Yeah, particularly Ricky Weeks. I mean, he's been coming up with men on base. He's got 15 RBIs. Yeah, Jason Kendall's starting to swing the bat again. I mean, he's been much better the last week or so. And the pitching staff has been getting hits. The number 8 spot in the order has been able to bang out a couple of base hits.
Hall gets jammed, a grounder out to Wilson, and that'll turn into a 6-4-3 double play. It's the thing about John Garland, he's got a lot of late movement on his sinker. And when he's right, as Rock mentioned earlier, he is a ground ball pitcher.
Well, nothing's really ever straight for Garland, but when he gets the ball down, he's going to get some depth to his sink. When it's up, it's just going to tail into a right-handed hitter. That's what happened to Billy that time. Ball was up, but it cut in on his hands and wasn't able to get the barrel of the bat on it.
Garland pitched for the Angels last year. White Sox traded him in the final year of his arbitration, his first year of free agency this past offseason. He was just slightly ahead of Braden Looper on the pecking order and signed just before Looper did. He signed just a couple of weeks before spring training, but only a one-year deal. A pitcher of Garland's caliber only getting a one-year contract. Symbolic of the way this offseason went for free agents.
Yeah. Good pitchers that had to take a big pay cut or not even pitching.
Yeah, Pedro Martinez still looking for a job. Garland spent 8+ years with the White Sox, then was traded to Los Angeles. The Angels, was 14-8 for the Halos last year, and again made 32 starts. He's regularly in the 30+ start category. Little bouncer out to Lopez. And that's the inning for Garland. We head to the third at Miller Park on a beautiful Friday night. Still scoreless. Ball on Fox Sports Wisconsin is presented by Blaine Farm and Fleet. You'll always find value at your local Farm and Fleet. By Piggly Wiggly, shop the pig and save. And by Ho Chunk Gaming Wisconsin. Retro Friday here at Miller Park. Brewers wearing their throwback colors tonight. The roof is closed on a cool evening here in Milwaukee, but a good crowd here. Expecting a sellout tonight and sellouts throughout the weekend. Don't forget Ryan Braun bobblehead day is Sunday, and then tomorrow the Brewers match up with the D-backs in game 3 of the series. And one of the league's best, Dan Herron, on the mound for Arizona against Braden Looper. Bush and Yusmeiro Petit will work in the finale of the homestand. So just 3 days left to catch the crew in action on this current homestand. Josh Wilson, the D-back shortstop, leads off. little flare right field line. This could be trouble as Hart runs it down. And it is a fair ball, and it is an out. Corey Hart comes up with it. In fair territory, a sliding catch.
All right, what a nice job by Corey Hart. And the first base umpire, Mike Everett, he ruled a fair ball. He's ruling it fair, but did not rule a catch. Corey Hart able to slide in there. There's not much room down there between the line and the padding. Corey clearly making the catch. He holds on to it. Mike Everett finally gives the out sign. We can't see it in real speed down there in that corner. I thought it was a double.
Terrific play by Hart, and out number one here in the third. Parra facing John Garland. Garland hasn't had a chance to swing the bat very often, spending most of his career in the American League. Only interleague play, and now this year as a first-year National Leaguer, as he had a chance for regular at-bats. Garland is 0 for 6 this year. Got him and made quick work of it. Manny Parra with his 5th strikeout. Rock, that is already a season high this year.
And he's really doing a nice job just letting the ball go, not guiding it. He's got good crispness and pop with his fastball, putting it right where he wants it. Good start for Manny.
Well, he's had 2 strikeouts in the first 2 innings, has one here in the third. Now Felipe Lopez, and a good indication of Manny's stuff. Lopez squaring to bunt right there. Lopez, a switch hitter. And a line shot, base hit. First hit of the game for the Diamondbacks.
Hey, Brewer fans, stay up to date all season with team text alerts and video alerts for your mobile phone. Text Get Brewers to 65246 to sign up now.
Only the second base runner for the Diamondbacks tonight. Parra walked Jackson in the first inning. Now a 2-out single by Lopez. And Manny will face Eric Burns. Swings at the first one. Hall's got it. Easy out at second. And another quick inning for Manny Parra. 3 scoreless so far. Here come the Brewers.
First to the third. You get a Dave Bush pin with every donation. For complete details, call 414-902-4000.
Turn the calendar, didn't we? May 1st. Brewers finished April 12-10. And after the start the Brewers had, 12-10 looks really good. Brewers were out to a dismal beginning. Matter of fact, they did not win a series until they went to Philadelphia. Lost the first 3 series of the year.
And just kind of out of sync, but they were able to find their stride. I mean, in a place that you wouldn't expect that they would be able to do that, in Philadelphia. After they got that first win in Philly, second game in, things really turned the corner. And they haven't looked back since.
That was Braden Looper who started that day. The Brewers at that time were 4-9. And Looper turned in a gem exactly when the Brewers needed it. Looper went 6 shutout innings against the Phillies. It's always turning points throughout a year. I think last year everybody recognizes the debacle in Boston as the turnaround. Brewers got swept by the Red Sox, and then from that point, most of the summer, they were the best team in the National League. Well, let's catch you up on the month of April. 12 wins. Of course, the Brewers winning 8 of their last 9 games in the month. A lot of home runs. Major League leader in long balls, 29 home runs for the Crew. And the ERA improved as the month went on.
It's amazing, only 4.16 after that start they get off to the first 13 games. Dreadful.
And as Ken Maka said, a week doesn't a month make, nor does a month make a season make. So April's in the books.
Yeah, but again, a lot of these control pitchers, these guys that really can't just throw the ball right by hitters, started to get their command and get their confidence. They kept the opposition off the board early to give the Brewer offense some confidence to be able to come back late. Now you take a guy like last night, Max Scherzer. I mean, for the Diamondbacks last night, I mean, he didn't have pinpoint control by any stretch of the imagination, but he was throwing 96, 97 miles an hour and throwing it right by the Brewer hitters. Brewers really don't have a pitcher like that.
You can afford to make some mistakes with location when you have that kind of velocity, and Scherzer had good command yesterday, and when he has command combined with his stuff, he does what he did last night.
And not to say the control pitchers can't come out of spring training with good stuff, but it's a lot easier for a guy like that to do it. That doesn't really have to rely too much on command and pinpoint location.
And Weeks down on strikes. Good sinker from Garland, and it's 2 away. First strikeout for Garland, and that'll bring up Corey Hart. Now Hart's already made an impact tonight with his glove. A nice play early in this one against Justin Upton. Caught one going back to the wall, and then this was, at this point, the play of the game. Sliding catch. Never know. That was a fair ball, by the way. If that drops for a hit, that's extra bases. And the Diamondbacks have a leadoff runner in scoring position.
Yeah, second, maybe even third base. That might even been a triple. A lot of ways Corey Hart can help you win a game.
Now the Brewers have a very fast outfield with Braun, Hart, and Cameron. Braun and Hart, the 2 fastest Brewers. In baseball terms, they measure speed by what they run in the 60-yard dash. I don't know why that is. It's just they don't do 40s or 100s in baseball. They clock them in the 60. And Braun and Hart both 6.5 60 times, 6.5 seconds.
The only guy that runs that hard that long is Todd Coffey.
I wonder what his 60 time is. Mark Reynolds handles Corey Hart, and a 3-up, 3-down inning for John Garland. Scoreless game through 3. Boyer will try to defend his title against a full field of the world's best drivers. Coverage of the Sprint Cup Series racing from Richmond begins tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central, in high definition on Fox. Manny Parra on the mound, starting his 4th inning. He's given up 1 hit and 1 walk. Parra with 5 strikeouts, a season high for him. Connor Jackson, Mark Reynolds, and Justin Upton to lead off. Jackson pops it up foul territory. And Kendall, just able to hang on. He had to avoid the on-deck circle and all of its elements for out number 1. Aflac! And that leads us to our Aflac trivia question tonight, Rock. Prior to 2009, which team last played 18 home games in the month of April?
I read that today.
You read the Aflac trivia question or the...
No, I read the answer to it.
I see.
I mean, I read the what would end up being the answer to that question.
So you're saying you know the answer?
Are you surprised that I knew it, or are you surprised that I read something today?
I'm surprised you read it. Well, Diamondbacks weren't exactly thrilled with their home schedule in April. I mean, if you're going to have a friendly home schedule, April is not the month you want it.
No.
You don't want too many home games or road games at any point in the schedule because it's always going to come back around on you.
You'd like to have it more evenly distributed. 10 games here, 10 games there, a week here, a week there. But sooner or later, when you have that many home games in one clump, you're going to have to make up for it later on. You'd rather get the majority of your bad travel out of the way early when you're the freshest. You're not tired.
Diamondbacks are in the middle of a stretch of 24 games where they have 18 road games, but where the schedule really comes back to get them is in August. And that's not a bad time to get out of Phoenix anyway.
It's getting late in the season, the dog days, and the dog days are even worse when you're on the road a lot.
Bob Melvin actually looking forward to this current road trip. It'll be 8 games in all through 3 cities as Reynolds draws a walk. And the second walk given up by Manny Parra. Say, I want to invite you to help raise money for your favorite Brewers players charities during Brewers Charities bobblehead raffles presented by Fox Sports Wisconsin. Sunday, this coming Sunday, Ryan Braun bobblehead day, and you can visit Brewers Charities /Ryan Braun raffle. You can visit that table anytime through the 4th inning, and with a $5 donation, you'll have a chance to win prizes, Rock. So the Ryan Braun bobblehead Sunday, and this year the players can be benefited at least with their charities, with their bobbleheads. Go to the station in Miller Park, or you can go to the web at brewers.com. I like this particular bobblehead.
Yeah, the home run.
That's the pose. It's also, check it out. Hang on.
It's all over the place.
There's the media guide. There's the bobblehead.
It's a good one. Got them to the playoffs.
This is my book, by the way. It's got my name on it. Don't touch my book. Only Mike Faulkner can touch my media guide. Council flips to Weeks, and an easy turn. And the Brewers turn a double play to win the inning. Manny Parra, very economical here tonight. He's posted 4 shutouts, just 1 hit. We head to the bottom of the 4th.
And Northwestern Mutual invite you to drop off new or gently used children's books starting today through Sunday during the Brewers Drive for Charity. Each fan who makes a donation will receive a Dave Bush Brewers pen. Donations are accepted anytime after the gates open through the second inning at the gate entrance. The donated books will go to the Next Door Foundation and the Milwaukee Public Library Foundation. Another great cause with the crew in the community, guys.
Telly, kind of digging that music, man. You sound like you have a little DJ in you right there. Spinning the fresh
Maybe a
mix.
little.
Only Telly can pull that off. That's straight from his iPod right there.
I like it.
Everybody. Theme music.
Dave Bush will be on the mound Sunday. Ryan Braun leads off. Slices one foul. Now, you know how the players have walk-up music, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Trevor Hoffman has his walk-up music, heard commonly throughout all of baseball. That's Telly's walk-up
Yeah, that's
music,
intimidating stuff.
That's my mic holding music, guys.
That's right.
You know my walk-up song when I played at County Stadium? It was real intimidating.
Hit the road, Jack.
That was the Peanuts theme. I'll tell you, that put the fear of God in every pitcher when I walked up there.
Great. What was that? Was that on 8-track? You
Charlie
picked that
Brown,
yourself?
Charlie Brown music. Come on.
Jeez.
Yeah, exactly.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not quite the intimidation factor that Hell's Bells has.
Right. Just a little bit less.
Sure.
They couldn't wait for me to get in the batter's box.
Just to make the music stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
2 balls and a strike on Braun, leading the way here in the fourth. And he popped him up. That's going to stay playable for Jackson. Braun fires his bat, and he's out number 1. Well, let's see how Rock's retention is with his reading today. Grammatically correct this time. Prior to 09, the last team played 18 home games in the month of April. St. Louis, just last year.
Yeah. It's in the notes.
And then before that, 84, then back to 79. Only the 4th team to have 18 home games in the modern era. St. Louis won 12 of their 18 games last year as fielders skies one into shallow left, Burns under it, and 2 quick outs. Braun and Fielder retired. So here's Mike Cameron now. Powerball home run leaderboard. Cameron tied at the top with Braun and Weeks. Cameron 5 homers, 9 doubles. Had a couple of doubles last night. Still looking for his first triple of the year. It's our Powerball home run leaderboard, courtesy of the Wisconsin Lottery. Brewers have hit 29 home runs as a team. Leads all National League clubs. Well, the Brew Crew with 2 base runners in the first, with 2 outs, however. So it's been a pretty quiet night offensively thus far. Cameron gets sawed off. And Lopez with all kinds of time makes the out. 1-2-3 inning again for Garland. He has retired 8 in a row. We will hear from Brad Fisher, third base coach, when we come back. base coach. And Brad, from your spot in that third base coaching box, how about the stuff of John Garland?
Well, Garland, he's shown a little more velocity than I'd seen him in the American League. But the thing that he's doing that's been so effective is he's pitching inside, and I think he's getting in on some of our hitters' hands.
And one of the things that we've noticed lately, particularly in this homestand, not much company or action for you early in the ball game, but later on it's been nice to watch. A lot of runs.
Well, it has been a little bit slow going early in the games, but maybe our team's just sizing, trying to figure out what we need to win. I don't know. It'd be nice to get a little more offense early in the game.
How easy has the transition been for you? I mean, you haven't coached third base in quite some time. It seems like you're making all the right moves so far this year.
Well, I tell you, it's been a fun job, and it's taken me a little while to get used to the team. But the thing that's really helped is our players run hard. I told somebody the other day we scored Prince Fielder from first base on balls down the left field line twice last week, and that's just a credit to his effort. And all these guys run hard, which makes my job a lot easier.
Brad, we appreciate your time during the game tonight. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks.
That is Brad Fisher, who lives here in Wisconsin, just outside Madison, and he joins us while the game is going on, offering some terrific insights, and we appreciate all the coaches doing that for us. Parra with a strikeout on Chris Young. Bob Melvin came out, Rock. He wanted C.B. Buckner, the home plate umpire, to ask for an appeal. He thought he fouled it off.
Man, it didn't look like he really came close. Chris Young thought he fouled it off, but that ball, that changeup down in the zone, second time that Chris Young has chased that pitch. It really does make a third base coach's job easier when you know what to anticipate. When sometimes you have a runner that's just not really giving you 100%, you send the guy and he gets thrown out by 20 feet. Really not the third base coach's fault. You base your decisions on the outfield arms, where they are in the outfield, and figuring who's on the bases and how fast they are. And it's always nice to know that they're giving 100%.
Yeah, you don't want to have to guess in that variable of who's going to run on a particular play. A ground ball to Weeks. Plenty of time to get the catcher Snyder. And 2 up and 2 down for Manny Parra.
Hey kids 14 and under, join the Brewers Kids Club presented by Associated Bank for just $20. You get the official club cap, piggy bank, ID, and lanyard, plus 6 Terrace Reserve ticket vouchers. Call 414-902-4000 or visit brewers.com. He's yelling at me. Kind of distracted me a little bit. I thought somebody was yelling at me.
You had to push through. Reminds you of home.
A couple of Clements hot dogs. That's always good at the ballpark. Going to be grilling up a couple of those tomorrow.
Now Parra with 2 outs facing Josh Wilson. Parra with 6 strikeouts now. And every strikeout from here on out will establish a new season high for Manny. It had been 4. There's a curveball, the first one he's thrown tonight. No balls and 2 strikes.
And one of the few curveballs that Manny's thrown in this ball game, right down the middle of the plate. That might be the first.
That's one area that Kendall really shows his veteran skills. He'll keep after a pitcher. He'll be able to change what a pitcher throws. He thinks like a hitter, obviously, so he's thinking like the opposition. And every batter that comes up, he goes through the mental Rolodex. What pitches has he seen? What count did that batter see those pitches? Wants the change up here. 2-2. Out in front, easy play for Hall. Boy, the changeup has been spot on for Manny Parra. Another 3 up, 3 down inning. 5 shutout in the books for Manny.
72, the phone number. Big Swedes gets 40 tickets to a 2009's Brewer home game. This offer courtesy of the Tavern League of Wisconsin and Miller Lite.
Sellout crowd on hand tonight at Miller Park, and we're delighted to have you with us. Brian Anderson, Bill Schroeder, Telly Hughes, Craig Cashon, and Davey Nelson on the air for Brewers Live following the game. They're preparing for that now. Michael Odino directing tonight and Chris Withers producing. Good game, another pitcher's duel here at Miller Park. This feels a lot like last night's game. The Brewers were down 1-0 until they scored 4 runs in the 7th inning when they finally got into that Diamondbacks bullpen. Council leads off. He'll be followed by Hall, then Kendall. 7, 8, 9 in the order against John Garland. Garland has really only had one bad start this year. His earned run average is 5.47, but those ERAs fluctuate up and down a great deal this time of year. His last time out against the Giants, he went 7 innings and only gave up 1 run. But when he got into the 8th, he ran into some trouble. Pablo Sandoval hit a 3-run home run off of him.
Yeah, batting averages and ERAs can go up and down very quickly at this point in the season. Jeff Suppan yesterday, his ERA went down about 1.5 points with that tremendous outing. Started yesterday at 7.32. Today shows up at 5.88.
Yeah, Suppan 6 1/3 with just 1 earned run yesterday. Garland gave up 7 runs in 3 2/3 against the Cardinals. That was his big blemish so far this year. Otherwise, he's been terrific for the Diamondbacks. Dan Herron has been lights out for Arizona. Could very easily be 5-0. Among the league leaders in ERA, Herron will pitch tomorrow. Council slaps one to left, but Burns right there. And it's out number 1, and Garland has now retired 9 straight, Rock.
That pitch count in pretty good shape, too. 57 pitches with 1 out in the 5th inning. You know, the goal is against the Diamondbacks, get to that bullpen, but John Garland saying not so fast. He's being very efficient, getting outs early in the count.
One gone for Billy Hall. He rolled into a double play ball in the 2nd inning. Bill Hall kind enough to wear the microphone for us today during batting practice. Had a lot of fun with Billy during Brewers Live pregame. Hope you had a chance to join Craig and Davey. That's one of my favorite subjects, you know, the mic'd up coach or player. You get some really cool insights. Get to hear what the players talk about. Hall was in a little bit of training with Willie Randolph, and some good commentary there. He and Prince Fielder taking some cuts off the tee.
And the lighter side of the game during batting practice, that's always fun too.
Thought it was interesting. Brad Fisher said a moment ago he's seen more velocity from John Garland than he's used to. Of course, he saw a lot of them in the American League when Fisher was in Oakland, and Garland was in Chicago with the White Sox.
Yeah, then the fact that he's pitching inside a lot and tying up a lot of these Brewer hitters.
Garland's from the San Fernando Valley in California, Southern California. Coming back with a fastball. The 1-2. Hall fouls it away.
Yeah, talking to Ryan Braun at the batting cage today, said that he and John Garland pretty good buddies. Of course, John Garland a little bit older than Ryan, so they really didn't play ball together. Braun never faced him as a kid. Said his mother, Garland's mother, actually coached Ryan as a youngster. His mother.
Little League coach, Mama Garland. From Granada Hills, both of them. Different high schools. And some pretty good major leaguers come out of that San Fernando Valley.
Yeah.
Jack McDowell, Brett Saberhagen's from that area. And Garrett Anderson, also from the San Fernando Valley. You know Robin Gount?
I've heard of him. I've heard of him.
He used to play here, you know. He's from that area.
Is that right?
See how we bring it all together with guys from the same region? I was kind of leaving that open for you, partner.
Robin who?
That guy.
19, the kid.
The kid. And for 12 games last year, the bench coach. 12 games in the regular season, 4 in the postseason. 3-2 to Hall. In the air to center, off the end of the bat, playable for Young. And it's 2 up and 2 down. Well, are you following Fox Sports Wisconsin on Twitter, Bill Schroeder? If you're not, you should. Now's the time to sign up. We're giving fans the ultimate Twitter experience next Friday. Mark it down. Fans will get an exclusive behind-the-scenes look at Fox Sports Wisconsin throughout the day and into the Brewer broadcast. Oh, boy. Cameras are everywhere, Rob. All you got to do is go to twitter.com, FS Wisconsin, to start following us now.
I am. Isn't everybody?
You get a tweet on Twitter.
Yeah.
Jason Kendall down the left field line. Burns racing to cut it off. Kendall's on his way to second. Here comes the throw, and it is late. Kendall in there with a double. A hustle double for Jason Kendall.
Boy, he went in that bag awfully hard. You hope he's all right. And he had to hustle right out of the batter's box because Burns got there in pretty good shape. And just check out the slide of Jason Kendall, a late slide. He hit the bag very hard as he got to second base. Yeah, Burns doing a pretty good job. Idea is try to get into scoring position, 2 outs and nobody on. Base hit scores you. Check out the slide. Bang.
I'll see if Manny Parra can help his cause. Kendall, a 2-out double. He's always had good success against Garland. He's hitting over .340 in his career against this pitcher. And the most experience against John Garland of all the Brewers. If nothing else, it clears the pitcher spot for next inning. But the way the Brewers pitchers have been swinging the bat, opportunity here for Parra to put the Brewers on the board. Two days ago against the Pirates, the Brewers won 1-0. And the only run came from Giovanni Gallardo, who hit a home run. He also went 8 shutout innings in that game. And a strike on the inside corner. Wow.
That ball's up. Boy. The only guy in the ballpark not going to argue about that's going to be Manny Parra. That's not a strike. That's high.
Man. Well, Parra did drive in 6 runs last year, but he'll take that same call next inning from Buckner. And down he goes. Parra strikes out. Garland just beating up that inside corner. Second strikeout for John Garland. What a pitching matchup tonight. Still scoreless. We go to the 6th. Sellout crowd tonight at Miller Park. On a cool Friday night, the panels are open, the roof is closed, and the pitchers have dominated. Parra has surrendered just one hit. That was a single from Felipe Lopez back in the third inning. He's given up 2 walks. One of those walks wiped out by a double play. So Parra has faced just 2 over the minimum at this point. John Garland has matched him just about pitch for pitch. Garland has only surrendered 4 hits. Parra struck out Garland his last time up. One of 6 strikeouts for Manny.
You know, it makes Manny's job a lot easier, the fact that he's been able to get the leadoff hitter out in every inning so far.
And he strikes out Garland for the second time, so that's number 7. And Rocky has been on his game tonight. This is the best Parra has looked this year.
Man, it's all set up tonight by that changeup. His changeup has been a very good pitch and a very effective pitch against an offense like the Diamondbacks. I mean, a lot of free swingers, guys that want to pull the baseball, hit the home runs. He's located his fastball pretty well and has done a nice job of not making a mistake early in the count with that pitch.
Ken Maka saying after a start in Houston where Parra went 5 innings, gave up 3 runs but only 1 earned, he really forced the action with his changeup. You know, he wanted to throw the changeup more. He's been asked to throw the changeup more, and Ken Maka said, I like what Manny did in Houston. He only went 5 innings, but his changeup really wasn't there, and didn't have the command of it early, but he kept after it, and he thought it might lead to a good start against the Diamondbacks. He called that 2 days ago, and boy, has it ever. Most of his strikeouts either on the changeup or the splitter.
Now, Ken Maka not afraid to go out on a limb and ask a pitcher to do a specific thing against a certain lineup, and very rarely has it backfired. It's been a very good piece of advice tonight.
Ken Maka has seen a lot of success from his starting pitchers, but Parra still looking for his first win. There's a broken bat hit over the head of Hall. Lopez will stop at first. A single for Felipe Lopez, who has the only 2 hits of the game for the Diamondbacks.
Man, Lopez able to get on top of a fastball that was up and in. Not a bad pitch by Manny. Lopez doesn't hit it very hard, down on a trademark, maybe even below that. And Billy Hall just out of his reach, almost got a piece of it. Ryan does a nice job getting over there quickly to keep Lopez to first base.
Lopez was thinking double out of the box. And Lopez with his 12th multi-hit game. That's the most in the National League. Lopez hit the home run last night, had 2 hits last night. Provided the only run for the Diamondbacks in the 4-1 loss last night. And 2 hits tonight, the only 2 of the game. So here's Eric Burns with a runner on and 1 out. Now Burns and Maka go back to their Oakland days. Burns came up in the Oakland system. It's quite a story, Eric Burns, from a big prospect to a Rule 5 draft, basically given up on, back to a star in the big leagues.
He's had some good years, but very unorthodox. His batting style very unorthodox. And
that one is well hit deep left center field. Braun on the run, and it's off the top of the wall. Lopez was not running. He had to wait to see if that was going to be caught, and can only reach third. That was less than a foot away from a home run. Goes as a long double for Eric Burns.
Well, high changeup. One of the few mistakes that Manny's made with his changeup tonight, and Burns nearly hit it out of the ballpark. He talked about how unorthodox Burns is. I mean, he'll take a pitch up and in and slice it to right field. There's that changeup up around the letters. Does a nice job getting on top of. You can see that finish. You don't see many like that. And right at the top of the wall, stays in there, and a good job by Mike Cameron to back it up.
So the 4th double for Burns. He gets the start in left with the lefty on the mound. And he cashes in for Bob Melvin here in the 6th inning. 2nd and 3rd, 1 out. And the 3-hole hitter Connor Jackson at the plate. And Parra starts him with a fastball strike. Jackson walked in the 1st, ended up at 2nd on a throwing error from Parra. And until now, that was the best scoring opportunity the Diamondbacks have posted against Parra. Beauty.
Strike 2. That is a nice curveball. Second one he's thrown in this inning. And you see the difference in Manny Parra's delivery. He's just letting the ball go. He's not guiding it at all. And that's been an issue for him early in the year.
He could use a strikeout here. See what he has in mind. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Jackson. Got him. Manny Parra took something off. That looked like the split finger pitch from Manny, and down goes Jackson.
Well located down in the zone. Just getting ready to say, the changeup, kind of a dangerous pitch to Connor Jackson. And it was a splitter. You see the way it goes down as it gets to home plate. It tumbles as it gets out there, and a big swing by Connor Jackson, not even close. Nice pitch.
Perfectly located. A big out to get. 2nd out of the inning, and Kendall wants a meeting with his pitcher, with Mark Reynolds coming up. The Brewers have the option of pitching around Reynolds with a base open at first to face Justin Upton. Both strike out a great deal.
And Justin Upton swinging the bat just a little bit better than is Mark Reynolds. I'd be surprised if they pitch around him.
And Upton has lined out tonight, so we'll see what they do. 2nd and 3rd for Arizona, their best opportunity to score. Manny trying to keep a 0 on the board.
They're being careful, aren't they? And maybe prefer to go after the young hitter, Justin Upton. They get him to chase. Get ahead, have him chase.
Diamondbacks scored 10 runs against the Cubs on Wednesday in the final game of that series. Only 1 run yesterday, and Parra has them shut out through 5 2/3 here tonight. The 2-0, 3 balls and no strikes.
And just put him on at this point. I mean, it's obvious that they want to be careful with Reynolds. Why mess around with a 3-0 count?
Dug out by Kendall. That was a good play to save a run. It's ball 4. 2nd time Reynolds has walked, and the 3rd walk issued by Parra. So now the stage is set here. Manny has to really bow his neck with the bases loaded. And Justin Upton coming up.
Now he's in a position where he has to throw strikes. He has to get ahead, and Upton realizes that.
Upton's been a hot hitter. Hit .381 last week with a couple of homers and 7 RBIs. After a slow start, Manny gets ahead of him. Changeup in there for strike 1. Burns almost hit one out. It missed a home run by less than a foot. Coming inside. Fastball missed. 1-1.
Show the fastball, have him chase the changeup. It's obvious that Manny and Kendall want to have Upton go after the changeup. Show him the fastball, see if we'll fish on it.
having to work more in this inning than any others. His pitch counts in good shape by inning. 2 balls and a strike.
Now he's pretty much in a fastball situation. That's the dangerous part about walking Reynolds. At first base open, you can be careful with him. Now he's got to throw a strike.
Came back with the changeup for strike 2. That changeup not only has been a strikeout pitch, but it's allowed Parra to get back into counts. And the pressure back on the hitter. 2-2. They're on their feet. Bases loaded for the Diamondbacks.
Looked like a split finger fastball or another changeup. See the tumble, the splitter, and Upton just able to get a piece of it.
Reset it with a 2-2 count. Big spot in the ball game in a scoreless game. And now the count goes full. Upton didn't chase.
Well, he's only throwing one fastball in his sequence. Pretty good chance he's going to go with a changeup again. How much confidence does he have? He's shown a lot of confidence in it so far.
Upton hit 15 home runs last year. He's got big power and he's a hot hitter. 3-2 pitch with the bases full of D-backs. Walked him. Bases loaded walk. And Arizona takes a 1-0 lead here in the 6th inning.
Well, 2 walks in the inning and 4 overall. This one turns into a run. Well, there's only one fastball in the whole sequence by Manny Parra to Justin Upton. That was the fastball. Made it 1-1. Couple of changeups in a row. Then he went with a splitter on 2-2. That's the pitch right there. That's the one he wanted to get Upton. And a couple of changeups out of the strike zone. Upton very patient with him and able to draw the walk.
So Bill Castro, a quick trip to the mound. A lot of pitches in this inning for Parra. The Diamondbacks, with one swing of the bat, could open things up a great deal here. But if Parra can get Chris Young, then the Brewers will send up the top of the order in the bottom of the 6th. So Parra marches on here with the bases full. Young takes a big hack on the first pitch. He was ready for that first pitch fastball.
And Chris Young realizes he missed a very good pitch to hit. That one right down the middle.
Young, another Diamondback with big power. 22 home runs last year, hit 32 the year before. And it's a ball and a strike. Seth McClung getting loose. Pitch count now at 91 for Parra, but a lot of pitches in this inning. One and two. Parra wasn't happy with the location of that pitch.
Now this is where Manny Parra has to forget about what has happened up to this point in this inning. It's kind of one of the things that has kind of gotten in his way so far this year, worrying about what happened in the past and not worrying enough about what's going on now.
And Young skies one to left. This will stay in the ballpark. Ryan Braun makes the catch. Manny Parra is out of the inning. The D-backs score a run. They lead 1-0. Top of the order coming up.
have mustered 4 hits, not a lot of scoring opportunities against Garland. Ricky Weeks is going to lead off, though, Davey. 3rd time round. Will that be a charm in your opinion?
Oh, without a doubt. I think right now with the top of the order coming up, facing Garland for the 3rd time now, they know how he's been pitching each and every one of them, so they should be able to make an adjustment.
All right, top of the order is up. We're getting ready for Brewers Live postgame as well, following our coverage here of the Brewers and Diamondbacks, Game 2 of the series. Get inside the clubhouses, and plenty more coming up on the field as well with an on-field instruction, O'Brien.
Craig Davey, thanks a lot. And Rock, it was the 3rd time through the order for the Diamondbacks that allowed them to break through against Parra. Could have done a lot more damage. Parra did issue the walk with bases loaded for the first and only run, but he does get Chris Young, a dangerous hitter, with the bases full.
Man, that changeup still his best pitch tonight, talking about Manny Parra. But you're right. I mean, 3rd time through is where a lot of starting pitchers find trouble.
Tonight, Ricky Weeks 0 for 2. Garland got him to ground out and got him on a strikeout.
Yeah, hitters aware of what a pitcher's trying to do to them in that particular day. And sometimes 3rd time through, you get to the 6th, 7th inning, they might lose a little bit on their fastball. So pitches that early in the game, you might be swinging through. Not as quick. You might be able to get the barrel of the bat on.
Well, the Brewers did their damage yesterday in the 7th. Scored all 4 of their runs in that 7th inning on 3 hits. And Weeks was a big part of it. Brewers batted around in that inning. Ricky, a little chopper. Coming in quickly is Reynolds, and the throw gets away from Jackson. Weeks on his way to second. A throwing error from Mark Reynolds. He was right there. He was cheated in to begin with. And then a bad throw, had plenty of time to get the out, but the Brewers catch a break. And the Diamondbacks, their first error in 85 innings is a big one.
Well, and the thing that bothers Bob Melvin, the fact that it leads off an inning. I mean, a good throw, and Ricky's an easy out at first base. Now, Reynolds comes in. I don't think he had to be that quick. You could see Ricky Weeks really not close to first base. He was playing in. He could have taken his time and made a good throw. That'll be an E5. I mean, no base hit for Ricky. And to make matters worse, he gets into second base, eliminating a double play.
So the tying run in scoring position on a costly error by Reynolds. And now it's Corey Hart with Ryan Braun on deck. Well, the Diamondbacks go 8 games without an error. They committed 11 errors through their first 12 games.
You know, we heard Brad Fisher talk about his guys running hard all the time. I mean, that's what you talk about, putting pressure on a defense. I mean, everybody in that infield knows Ricky Weeks busted down that line. And Reynolds knew he had to be quick and threw it away.
I think Reynolds tried to be quicker than he really needed to. You know, on a dribbler like that, you feel like you need to hurry. But he was 2 steps in on the grass anyway before the ball even left the bat.
Yeah, he had plenty of time. I mean, Ricky barely in the picture when we had the shot at first base.
Well, we'll see if the Brewers can cash in. Hart at least trying to deliver Weeks to third base, if not more. This is where we talk about situational hitting, you know, and the Brewers have done this well all year. They've hit behind runners. They've been able to take extra bases on errors like Weeks did. Dale Swain preaching the importance of going up there with a plan. You know, in batting practice every day, these hitters go through the entire routine of, you know, advance a runner to third, bring him in on a fly ball.
And Ken Maka calls it unselfish at bats.
Now Hart in survival mode with 2 strikes, trying to make contact. Braun would be next. Has one of the 4 hits against Garland here tonight. Looks at one, a close one. Garland wanted the call.
Boy, tough pitch to take with 2 strikes. I don't blame him. You saw that pitch that C.B. Buckner called on Manny Parra. That might have been low. Barely low. Maybe not.
So 2-2 to Hart. The speedy Weeks at second base. He's the tying run. And Corey pulls one over to third. Reynolds makes a nice play, drops it, and has no throw. And Reynolds shaken up a little bit. That'll be a base hit for Corey Hart.
Yeah, rough inning for Reynolds. Conceivably could be 2 outs and nobody on. As it stands, nobody out, first and second. Probably go down as a hit. Got to be a hit. I think if he stays, if he's able to collect himself, he's able to get Corey Hart. And it is a base hit.
Looked like Reynolds rolled over his wrist on his glove hand side.
That ball wasn't that far away from him either. I think he just lost his balance when he went down. Probably should have thought he should have made that play.
Well, here's Braun now with 2 on. Nobody out. The Brewers threatening in the 6th. Their best scoring opportunity tonight against John Garland. Reynolds checking the elbow. He's been checking to see if that wrist is all right. Glove off between pitches. 2 guys from the same hometown matching up. Braun, until tonight, had never faced John Garland.
Well, he still has very good sink on that fastball, particularly when he gets it down and in on those right-handed hitters. And they grew up together. Families knew each other well. Never played on the same team. Ryan never faced him at any level. Maybe a stickball game or 2.
Garland 29 years of age. Braun 25. Big spot. Garland's got him down 0-2. 2 on with nobody out. Brewers down a run. And a good play by Snyder keeps the runners where they are. Part of that 4-run 7th last night, we saw 2 wild pitches in the inning. Uncharacteristic of Chris Snyder, who moves well behind the plate. He smothered that one nicely. That was kind of the underlying story of how the 7th went down. The Brewers trying to give the Diamondbacks some outs, but the wild pitches advanced the base runners anyway.
Yeah, Tom Gordon just couldn't find the plate.
Snyder might want to change signs here.
They just want to get on the same page what to throw. He threw a couple of sinkers to get ahead 0-2. Then he went with a slider. Ryan didn't chase it. You get a couple of shakeoffs, and not a bad time to go out there and call timeout. Get on the same page.
Braun's had a good year in spots like this. 360 average with at least a runner in scoring position. And he chases one. Garland strikes him out. Out number 1, and a big strikeout for John Garland.
I mean, not often you see Ryan with a defensive swing like that. Fastball, 4-seamer off the outside corner. Ryan thought it was a little bit too close to take. Just tried to get a piece of it. Couple of fastballs in, slider away. Then he went away with a fastball. That's a pretty good piece of pitching by John Garland.
So 1 away, and here's Prince. Cameron would be next. Diamondbacks have no choice but to challenge Fielder in this spot. Prince has a hit off Garland. He singled back in the first. 1 for 2. Last time up, flew out to left. Sitting on 3 home runs and 17 driven in. He's the club leader in RBIs, and he's in an RBI spot here in the 6th inning.
About as straight up as you'll see any defense against Prince Fielder. Very unusual.
Normally the infielders are moved around into the pull position, but with an opportunity at a double play, Bob Melvin going to take a chance to get out of the inning. Fielder beat the shift his first time up when he singled. One and two. And Garland still plenty of life on his fastball and still able to keep it down in the zone.
Yeah, still velocity at about 92, 91, 92 with good sink. He's been able to get on the top of the fastball pretty well all night.
Last night, Fielder walked with the bases loaded. Got credit for the game-winning RBI. It was a walk with the bases loaded that put the Diamondbacks on the board in the top of this frame. Fielder's had a good homestand, 5 for 17. One ball, two strikes with two on. And Fielder strikes out. Garland punches out Braun and Fielder with two aboard.
Good changeup that time. Boy, oh boy. Able to get Ryan on a fastball away. This one a changeup away. Look at the movement as it gets to home plate. It's about as good as it gets right there. Tough pitch.
Well, now Garland will face the hottest Brewer hitter in Mike Cameron. Can he deliver once again? He belted a 2 RBI double last night. Weeks and Hart still aboard. Weeks reached on an error. The inning should be over for Garland. Throwing error by Reynolds. Hart on an infield hit. And Cameron takes a strike. The Brewers have not had hardly any hard hit line drives against Garland. He has stayed away from the sweet spot tonight.
Yeah, hardest hit ball was Ryan's base hit in the first inning. Line drive up the middle.
Pitch count in good shape. Only 89 pitches for Garland. He pitched into the 8th inning against the Giants his last time out. Only gave up 1 run in 7 innings in that game, and then the Giants erupted in the 8th. 2 on, 2 out for Cameron. 0-2. Down he goes. Cameron looking for something else. John Garland strikes out Braun, Fielder, and Cameron. And the Brewers strand a pair. presented by Triple Hop Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. And by Toyota, proud sponsor of the Milwaukee Brewers and the Tundra Territory at Miller Park. Well, an opportunity lost for the Crew in the sixth. They had the first two on, an error and an infield hit. But Braun, Fielder, and Cameron all down on strikes, right in the wheelhouse of the order, and John Garland strikes them all out. Manny Parra is out, Rock, after 6 innings, a season-high 8 strikeouts, and only 1 earned run as Ken Maka turns it over to Seth McClung to work this 7th inning.
Well, you got to love the way Manny Parra went about his business. I think Jason Kendall handled him beautifully today. I don't remember Manny shaking any of his pitches off, so Jason Kendall gets a little bit of credit there. And Seth McClung in his 9th game here tonight.
McClung will face the bottom of the Diamondbacks order. Chris Snyder leads off. And Snyder launches one left field. Braun is back, and he's got it for out number 1.
Hey, fans, tomorrow against the Diamondbacks, the first 10,000 kids 14 and under, rather 16 and under, will receive a set of Brewers Police baseball trading cards. Every card features a positive message on the back, 16 and under. I don't know why I was thinking 14.
That was from the other one.
You think?
Kids Club.
That's right.
It's okay. It's early. McClung starts Josh Wilson with strike 1. A lot of baseball play today. A number of games are final or close to being final. Cubs and the Marlins played this afternoon. The Cubs scored 7 unanswered runs in the middle innings, and they win it 8-6. Kevin Gregg saved his second. Theriot hit a home run, a big home run in that one. So the Cubs back to 500 at 11-11 with the win today. Fielder's got it on a hop, little jam job, and Fielder will race to the bag. That's got to be an interesting look for Josh Wilson going down that line. It's going to be a collision at first base, and that's not the guy you want to bang into.
That'll slow you down anyway.
That's when you look like you're still running fast, but you're actually not.
Yeah, Prince decided to take it himself, and Seth McClung still getting over there, but that would have been an ugly collision.
Pretty much a one-way collision as well. So 2 outs for McClung on 4 pitches. And now facing the pitcher, John Garland. Cincinnati shut out Pittsburgh. That one's just a final. 4-0 the final today. Reds scoring late to win that one. Bronson Arroyo combined with Francisco Cordero for the shutout. Arroyo's out to a good start. He's 4-1. Brewers will see the Pirates and the Reds on this next road trip. That begins Monday in Pittsburgh. Council got a lot of time here, and the side retired. Good inning for McClung. 1, 2, 3. And I'll see if the bottom of the order can get some offense started. Manny Parra, terrific tonight. Pitched good enough to win this game, but no run support. Parra, 6 innings, a bases loaded walk, cost him his only run. He walks 4 total, 8 strikeouts a season high. John Garland, the story at this point. He has gone 6 shutout innings. The Brewers put the first 2 on in the 6th. He strikes out Braun, Fielder, and Cameron. And the threat was snuffed out by John Garland. So here we go to the bottom of the 7th. The Rally Rabbit is out, and we'll see if it pays off for the bottom of the Brewers order. Garland at 2-1 on the year, making his 5th start of the season. His first trip in the National League. He's pitched in some big games in his career. He was part of that World Series winning White Sox club in 2005. And in the ALCS that year, remember, he threw a complete game. He was in that stretch of 4 consecutive complete games for the White Sox. In 05, he threw a complete game in Game 3 of the League Championship Series. So he knows about the big game pitching. Craig Counsell leads the way. Singled off Garland in his first at-bat. Made a bit of a hit in the 5th inning, but Burns, playing shallow, made a nice catch on him. That one's pulled down the line. That one is well hit. It is down, and it'll go to the wall. Counsell on his way to second, and a leadoff double for the Brew Crew.
Now kind of pulled a fast one on him that time. He was serving the ball in the left field his first 2 times up. Able to get on top of one, to pitch up and in, and pull it down the line and right. So another leadoff base runner from Milwaukee. 2nd consecutive inning. Boy, nice quick stroke for Craig Counsell. That new batting stance has certainly paid off for him so far.
Counsell rewarding his manager for the start tonight. J.J. Hardy, the night off. Maka wanted another left-handed hitter in there. And the Rally Rabbit is off to a good start here in the 7th. A double for Counsell, only his 2nd of the year. And here is Bill Hull. Hall bounces one over the head of Reynolds. And here comes Counsell. He's going to be held around 3rd. Now Fisher, with nobody out, not taking a chance.
No, you don't want to be getting a first out at home plate. That's a no-no. Doesn't matter where you are in the batting order. With nobody out, never, ever make the first out at home plate. Pirates guilty of that when they were in town. Ended up losing the ball game. Well, the infield in, thinking about the bunt. That's why Billy's able to chop that one over Reynolds' head and into left field.
And Brad Fisher certainly knows Eric Burns as well as anyone. They were together in Oakland. Burns has an accurate arm. And Counsell held around 3rd base. So 1st and 3rd for the Crew. Nobody out. Again, 2 on with nobody out for the Brewers. 2nd consecutive inning, and here is Kendall. Diamondbacks looking for a double play ball. Kendall takes a strike. This is a spot you might see some action from Ken Maka. Hall has good speed at first. Garland, a ground ball pitcher, and Kendall, a guy who hits a lot of ground balls as it is.
And the last thing you want to do is have Billy Hall take off. Snyder throws the ball pretty well. The last thing you want is a caught stealing in this situation. Pitcher's spot due up next. I think you take the double play if you score the run here, particularly with the number 8 hitter up.
Hall stays put. Kendall down the line, fair or foul. And it's a foul ball. Just foul. Kendall chasing an extra base hit. Elevates one, but gets out in front of it. And it's a long, loud strike for the Brewer catcher. By that much. Man. You see Kendall really trying to get the ball in the air.
Now at this point, you're just trying to put the bat on the baseball.
First and third, nobody out. And the 0-2, and Kendall fouls one away. Kendall was a big part of the rally last night, the 4-run seventh when he singled. He was originally up there to drop a bunt down, but he got to 2 strikes, 2 failed sacrifice attempts, and then he slapped one to right field for a base hit. If you're wondering, Bill Hall does have a stolen base this year. He's 1 for 1.
Now this is not a Ken Maka stolen base situation. Last thing you want is a strike him out, throw him out. Billy with a very small lead.
And Kendall takes a ball. 2-2 the count. Garland has a good move to the plate as well. He's not an easy guy to run on as it is.
Yep, quick to home plate. Snyder throws pretty well. And Billy giving no indication that he wants to take off.
Now if Garland misses here, that's a different story. Ready for the 2-2. They want it inside. Kendall pulls one. That's a fair ball. And the throw to first is in time, but the run scores, and the Brewers have tied it here in the 7th inning. Kendall with an RBI. That took a great play from Reynolds to get the out.
Yeah, he got that ball way behind the bag at third and was thinking about making the throw to home plate. Fred Counsell got a very good jump. It wouldn't even have been close at home. That and the fact that I think his angle to throw the ball, he might have hit Counsell right in the back. He was right on the line. Check him out when he thinks about that throw. Short hops it over to Connor Jackson for the out, but the Brewers tie it up. You see the jump that Craig got. It would have been a tough play.
That's going to do it for Garland. Runner at second, 1 out, and Melvin going to the bullpen. Did some damage when they got into the Arizona bullpen. A 4-run, 3-hit inning for the Brewers. Ricky Weeks delivered the big hit that tied the game. Then Fielder walked with the bases loaded. That put the Crew ahead. Mike Cameron, a 2 RBI double, and it was all said and done. 4 runs had scored, and the Brewers ended up winning 4-1. And once again, Rock, the Brewers are into that Arizona bullpen. Chris Duffy is going to pinch hit. John Garland cannot win this game. He can lose it as Tony Pena comes on to work.
Yeah, off to a very good start. 8 strikeouts and 2 walks so far for Pena in game number 13, so he can work quite a bit. having a pretty good stretch out in that pen.
Duffy off the bench. Duffy has a hit. He got a hit in his last start. That was on Wednesday. Started in center field for Cameron that day and delivered a 1-for-3 day. He's got a chance to drive in a run and put the Brewers on top here in the 7th inning. And he shoots one left field. That's a base hit. Hall is going to try to score. Here comes the throw from Burns. Hall is in there with a slide.
Oh,
what a slide.
Wow, what a throw by Eric Burns right on there. Perfect throw. Rally Rabbit never disappoints. Good piece of hitting by Chris Duffy. Oh, he's serving that ball in the left field. Off-speed pitch by Tony Pena. And a great slide by Billy Hall and an aggressive job of coaching by Brad Fisher. How about that swing? That was a good pitch. A good throw. Billy Hall grabs the bag or touches the plate with his left hand. Had he gone in there straight, it would have been out.
What a great slide that was from Hall. Man, oh man. And did you see how tight to the bag Hall came around third base? No wasted space rounding third. 2-1, the Brewers have the lead. Back at the top of the order now, Ricky Weeks. That's Chris Duffy's biggest hit as a Brewer. Burns was shallow, and that was a slicing line drive. And he cut loose the best throw he could have made.
Check out the follow through. Eric Burns with a somersault in the outfield. Not sure he saw the end result. Talk about unorthodox, right? At the plate, in the field, doesn't matter.
That's following through now.
Yeah. Well, what a piece of hitting by Chris Duffy. That was a very good pitch. Down and away. If he hits it any harder, they can't send Billy at all. They can't send him to the plate.
Well, Pena closes the book on John Garland. 6 1/3, 2 runs, and now the Diamondback starter is on the hook for the loss. Brewers take a late lead once again as Weeks swings and misses. Down he goes on strikes, and it's out number 2.
And Tony Pena, fastball right on the outside corner, mid-90s with a fastball, throws it right by Ricky. He's got a good arm.
They have plenty of good arms. Velocity is not the issue in the Diamondbacks bullpen. Seems like everybody they bring out there is 90 plus. Corey Hart with a runner at first and 2 outs. Wendy's at the plate. Hart singled his last time up. Not much offense to speak of for the Brewers until this inning. Here in the 7th, 3 hits, 2 runs are in. Two runs on 8 Brewer hits thus far. And just like last night, they have taken the lead in the 7th.
And late offense, a lot of times on this winning streak, has resulted in wins, and it's all because of good starting pitching. We talked about that in our open tonight. We've been talking about that for a while. If you don't get the good pitching, you're not able to come back late. Manny Parra's got to feel good about that start.
No chance at a win for Parra, but 6 innings, only 1 run, season high 8 strikeouts. And that's 2 good outings for Parra in a row. As Hart takes a ball, 2 balls and a strike on Corey Hart. Brewers have won 4 straight. And all the wins on this homestand. Swept the Pirates in 3 games, then won last night in another thriller. And all 3 of those Pirates games were close. Duffy at first, and Hart pulls one foul. The one score that you might look at against the Pirates and say, oh, that was kind of a comfortable win, the 10-5 Brewers win. The Brewers scored 5 runs in the bottom of the 8th inning of that game. It was 5-5 going into the 8th. As Villanueva gets loose.
Hit here or there, that could have been a sweep for the Pirates. We talked about that last night. Brewers able to do the little things to beat the Pirates.
Hart trying to keep it going in the 7th and get Braun a chance to swing the bat here in this inning. Duffy has tremendous speed. So anything down a line or in a gap, he'll score from first base. Diamondbacks outfielders deep, especially in center field with Young. Two balls, 2 strikes. And Hart pulls one over to Reynolds. Going to second, and it's just in time to get Duffy. So the inning ends, but the Brewers rally. Duffy with a base hit, a pinch hit single, and a great slide from Bill Hall. The Rabbit strikes again. 2-1 Brew Crew. Corey Hart providing a couple of beautiful plays early. Going back on an easy line drive, and then this, a sliding catch up against the retaining wall, robbing Josh Wilson of extra base hits. The Home Depot doing more on defense. Hart has a hit tonight, 1 for 4, and a couple of nice plays in right field. So the Brewers have the lead now 2-1. 2 runs on 3 hits in the 7th, and we head to the 8th. And Rock, here's Carlos Villanueva.
Yeah, 11th appearance for Carlos. Tossed a perfect 9th inning against the Pirates on Wednesday. Picked up save number 2.
He and Giovanni Gallardo combining for the shutout Wednesday against the Pirates. 1-0 win. And I would imagine that save for Villanueva had a great deal of impact on his confidence.
Yeah, had really good changeup. We talked about Manny Parr's changeup today. Carlos' changeup on Wednesday, terrific.
Felipe Lopez batting for the 4th time, has 2 of the 3 Diamondbacks hits. A couple of singles. And for the first time batting left-handed tonight.
There's that changeup. That's 79 miles an hour. He throws the fastball about 89 miles an hour. That's a pretty good difference in speed. So there's been a couple of changeups and a couple of curveballs by Carlos.
Coffey and Stetter in case Villanueva runs into trouble. If he doesn't, then it'll be Hoffman for the 9th inning. And Villanueva strikes out Lopez. Good start to the 8th. Diamondbacks leadoff hitter. A strikeout victim, number 1 for Carlos.
His slider right down the middle of the plate. And just enough movement on it to keep it off the bat of Lopez, who's been swinging the bat well. Can't believe he missed it.
Eric Burns. Burns almost hit one out in the 6th. That would have changed the game. He hit a bomb into left center and it missed a home run by less than a foot. Hit the top of the wall in deep left center field. If that goes out, it's a 2-run home run. Instead, the Diamondbacks just 1 run in the 6th inning. They stranded the bases loaded.
That's the thing about this lineup. I mean, you can pitch to them. I mean, you can make them look bad all night long, but each and every one of them up and down the order, they've all got power. You make a mistake inside. Not sure where that missed. I guess low.
2-1. Villanueva struck out Lopez to start the inning. And got Burns to chase. He pops it up. Routine for Hall. 2 outs. Second game of this 4-game series. Our Miller Lite What's on Tap. Brewers and the Diamondbacks tomorrow. Note that we are on WMLW tomorrow, and it's a 6 o'clock start. Sunday is the finale. Fox Sports Wisconsin. So Looper tomorrow against Dan Herron. Dave Bush on Sunday against Yusmeiro Petit. And then the Brewers hit the road. 2 in Pittsburgh, 2 in Cincinnati, then right back here against the Cubs on Friday. A week from today. 2 outs. And Connor Jackson at the plate. Cubs beat the Marlins today. Reds shut out the Pirates. It's just gone final in Philadelphia. The Mets 7-4 winners over the Phillies. Utley hit another home run today, number 8. Big swing and a miss. Villanueva took a lot off, and it's 2-1.
That changeups are a tremendous pitch, isn't it? Boy, it looks like a fastball. Look at the arm speed by Carlos, and this pulls the string, never gets there.
Strike 2. Rock the Cardinals one again. 6-2 over the Nationals. They are 17-7. Best record in the big leagues. Pujols, number 9.
Yeah.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Villanueva trying to get through the 8th. Just got a piece. Cardinals hit a bunch of home runs tonight. Pujols, Ludwig, Duncan. and Thurston all homered for St. Louis.
Yeah, they've got 27 home runs. They're doing just about everything well. Pitching, hitting, playing some pretty good baseball.
Astros and the Braves are in the 7th. Atlanta 7-2 over Houston. They put Valverde on the disabled list. Astros closer not available. Dodgers and Padres just underway, as are the Rockies and the Giants. 2-1 here. Brewers lead it, and a 3-2 from Villanueva. Jackson stays alive.
And another changeup. A lot of confidence in that pitch. You throw the pitch that you're most confident in to throw a strike with. That hasn't been the fastball. He's been very careful throwing that over the plate in this inning. Showing the fastball, wants to get these hitters out with the off-speed pitch.
Breaking ball coming. This is high. Just let it hang. You can almost feel Villanueva saying, just stay up there. Don't even break back in the zone. Ho-Chunk Gaming Wisconsin text question: is the strike zone the same for all batters despite the height differences? Boomer in Kenosha.
No, Boomer. It's at the knees to about the belt. And depending on how tall you are, that's the strike zone.
And maybe that fastball to Corey Hart last inning, because he's 6'6".
Right.
Would have been a strike for a lot of batters, not so for Hart. Well, now the Diamondbacks have one of their best home run hitters at the plate. Representing the go-ahead run. Tying run is aboard. Jackson at first. 2-out walk given up by Villanueva. Reynolds has walked twice. He struck out looking in the first against Manny Parra. This guy's got a lot of thunder in his bat. Already 5 homers. Reynolds strikes out a lot. 24, maybe 25 punch outs this year, which is the 5th most in the National League.
Well, he set a record last year. 204 strikeouts.
A National League record. Out in front again. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, good slider right on the outside corner. Not much anybody's going to do with that pitch. Keep it right there, Carlos. You'll be fine.
Well, now they're on their feet at Miller Park. Villanueva trying to get the Brewers to the dugout. 2-1. The Brewers with 2 in the 7th to take the lead. Villanueva against Mark Reynolds. Tying run at first, and Villanueva makes sure Jackson knows he's thinking about it. Another big spot for Villanueva. Picked up the save on Wednesday. Slider coming. Reynolds didn't chase.
I don't think Carlos has thrown a fastball for a strike in this inning. Just showing the fastball. Manny Parra didn't throw many in a big situation either.
And he's looped a couple of curveballs as well, kind of in that danger spot, in that hanging spot. The slider's been his best pitch. See what Kendall wants. With 2 strikes again. Back to the slider. Runner goes, and a little flare into center field. That is going to fall, a base hit. Jackson on his way to third. And the Diamondbacks have runners at the corners. Right off the end of the bat, Reynolds just got enough of it to serve it into center field.
That's a good at bat. Real good job by Reynolds to cover home plate. He really didn't have to worry too much about a fastball. Carlos showing no indication he's going to come inside. Watch him lean out over the plate. That first move, that shoulder goes toward home plate. Thinking he's going to get me out away. He's able to cover it. Didn't hit it hard, but able to serve it into center field. That's a nice approach.
And here comes the manager. Maka had Stetter and Coffey loosening, and it's going to be Coffey to face the right-hander Justin Upton. So Coffey will sprint his way into the mound. Villanueva is out. Tough spot here in the 8th. Brewers on top 2-1. And I'm just looking at a couple of these hits here in the late innings, thinking about Duffy's hit and Mark Reynolds' hit to extend this inning. Those two pretty good pitches and pretty good job of swinging the bat by those two.
Particularly Chris Duffy able to serve one into left field, and neither one of them hit very hard, and both of them going to the opposite field. That's the key. In situations late in the ball game, that's what you have to be thinking about doing. Pitchers aren't going to challenge you inside, but this big guy will. In his 13th game, pitched a scoreless 8th inning in last night's win.
Coffey went 1, 2, 3 in the 8th. Got Wilson, pinch hitter, and then Felipe Lopez. And now he will face Justin Upton with 2 outs. And he comes into a hot spot. Tying runners at third base for the Diamondbacks. Villanueva retired the first 2 batters, then a walk to Jackson, and a single by Reynolds. And now Villanueva can only watch. Both the runners on base, his responsibility. Coffey toes the rubber, trying to get the Brewers to the dugout with the lead still intact. Upton walked in the 6th inning with the bases loaded. So he has the lone Diamondbacks RBI. Got it the easy way. Kendall coming inside again and a big hack. Wow. Upton trying to hit one into the lake.
Yes, he does. He's trying to hit it hard, and that's not the approach you want to take with that sinker. The back foot spin. Well, you like the matchup with Todd Coffey and Upton. Upton more of a high ball hitter. See, he was able to keep the ball down.
Well, they certainly have him thinking inside corner. Kendall back in there, and Upton chops one. Going to be a tough play. That one is rolling, and that is going to stay fair, and we are tied. An infield hit.
You have to be kidding me. Wow. All right.
So the run scores, and we're even up at 2.
No way you can defend that. That was a good pitch by Coffey. Upton with that big swing. Just able to get the end of the bat on it and drive in another run. Boy.
And Maka imploring Coffey and the Brewers to lock in here with 2 outs.
Just beats it into the ground, just dies there in the grass for an RBI. It didn't look pretty, but it's going to look good in the box score tomorrow.
Upton has both of the RBIs with a walk and a infield hit that rolled about 45 feet. And the run belongs to Villanueva. The 2-out walk scored. Well, Bob Melvin's going to take a shot at it here with 2 on and 2 out. Removing his center fielder from the game. Tony Clark, the switch hitter, is on the pinch hit. Clark is the Diamondbacks' primary pinch hitter. All tied at 2 here in the 8th. And Clark slices one left field line. That is a fair ball. And 2 runs are going to score. That one just fair. And Ken Maka wants an explanation from the third base umpire, Brian Gorman.
Well, we couldn't see it down the left field line, but that is everybody close to that play going crazy. Mike Everett, the third base umpire, calls it fair. My goodness.
Wow, that's foul.
What a terrible, terrible call. My oh my. Clearly foul. That's a bad call. That's a terrible call by the third base umpire, and 2 runs in. Didn't even kick up any chalk.
And there's where it landed. So the Brewers catch a terrible break. Clark given credit for a double. He'll drive in 2 runs. And it's 4-2, and Brian Gorman did not see that one well. 4-2 Arizona. And now it's Snyder. How about the way this inning has turned out? An infield hit that ties it.
Well, Villanueva and 2 different hitters, 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning. A walk, a base hit, a swinging bunt, and a foul ball called a double. It's the way it goes sometimes.
All of this with 2 outs. And Coffey has fallen behind Chris Snyder. And Snyder serves one into center field. That's a base hit. Clark's going to come to the plate. Cameron's throw home is cut off. And now Ricky Weeks will run down Chris Snyder for the out. Athletic play by Weeks. The run scores. But the Diamondbacks score 4 runs with 2 outs in the inning. 5-2 Arizona. Braun, Fielder, and Cameron coming up. The Brewers catch a bad break in the 8th. 4 straight hits, but it was the type of hits. It looked like Tony Clark had sliced one foul. Brian Gorman called it fair. A double, 2 RBI score. That was after Justin Upton with an infield hit that tied the game. The defensive changes. Clark is at first with Connor Jackson now in left field. That slides Eric Burns over to center. Remember, Young was pinch hit for.
Well, the Brewers had 3 opportunities to get out of that inning before that call down the line. So you can't lay all the runs on Brian Gorman. I mean, Carlos being away, but 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning, getting a strikeout to end the inning a couple of different times. Brewers had their opportunity to end it.
Let's see if the Brewers can come back tonight. 6 outs to work with, and Braun, Fielder, and Cameron to start it against Tony Pena. We've talked about that Arizona bullpen. They've struggled mightily this year, but their closer Chad Qualls has been good. He's only blown 1 save. Jorge Julio loosening for the Crew. Likely to pitch the 9th unless the Brewers come back. And if the Brewers take the lead, you'd see Hoffman. Braun chased.
Nasty pitch. It's good slider. Breaks late. Got some tilt on it. Ryan thought that was a fastball, just couldn't hold up.
Braun has a hit tonight. He's 1 for 3. Crew needing base runners at this point. Down 3 runs in the 8th. And Braun lines out to Lopez. Out number 1. Oh, be sure to join us after the game for Brewers Live, sponsored by Lincoln Mercury. It will include an on-field instructional. Tonight's topic, rounding third base to score a run.
That'll be all Davey, by the way.
He'll be the one rounding third base.
He's a base running coach for the Brewers. Indians. He can run himself. I'm going to be relying heavily on Davey. I'll be the coach.
Maybe you could be the windmill third base coach. You could be.
I'll play Brad Fisher.
Yeah. See if Davey can cut the bag like Billy Hall did.
Oh yeah.
98-mile-an-hour fastball there from Pena. A sellout crowd wondering how they got here. Diamondbacks with 4 runs in the 8th. And a 5-2 lead late. Fielder tied up. 1-2 the count. Fielder ropes one foul. Count remain 1-2.
I'll tell you, Prince did a nice job getting the hands in and getting that on the barrel of the bat. He's mentioned Pena in mid to upper 90s, and that ball in on Prince.
In the air to center, playable for Burns. And Pena has the first 2 out here in the 8th inning. Now Mike Hammer's Powerball home run count is at 5. Ties him with Braun and Weeks for the club high. See if he can keep this inning alive here in the 8th.
Turn the tables on the Diamondbacks. It was 2 outs, nobody on in their inning.
Those 2-out runs, they drive you crazy. And usually in a mix like that, there's a 2-out walk involved. Quickly 0-2. Devastating slider from Pena. Man, is that a good pitch.
Yeah, this guy got closer stuff. Without a doubt.
And down goes Cameron. So a 1-2-3-8. The Brewers go in order. Braun, Fielder, and Cameron, and we head to the 9th at Miller Park.
$10 from each purchase goes to the Susan G. Komen Fund.
Well, a lot of ups and downs in this one. And the Brewers certainly on the wrong end of a couple of bad breaks tonight. It's been a good ball game, though. Diamondbacks score 4 runs in the 8th inning to take the lead. And now we head to the 9th, and it's going to be Jorge Julio in a 5-2 game to try to keep it that way.
Well, pitched on Tuesday against the Pirates and earned his first win as a Brewer. Tossed a perfect 6th inning. It's all about throwing strikes for Julio. 4 strikeouts, 7 walks so far this year.
Josh Wilson leads off. Julio picking up the win his last time out, and Rock just going through the scorebook here. Julio a part of that run for the bullpen where they went 8+ innings of scoreless baseball in some tight ball games on this homestand until the Diamondbacks scored 4 times last inning.
Well, the Brewers and Ken Maka have said they're going to need Jorge Julio to come up with some quality innings. There was a stretch of about a week plus where he did not sniff a ball game. And you just can't be shorthanded like that out there in the pen.
And while he wasn't working during the game, he was working hard with Bill Castro in the bullpen during that time away. One change they made, the most significant change, Bill Castro has Julio pitching from the stretch, even with nobody on base.
Just trying to collect his mechanics a little bit, maybe simplifying his delivery. Do that out of a stretch. I guess the less moving parts, the better at times.
Bill Castro asked him a pretty revealing question. He said, "You're 30 years old. You have electric stuff. Why do you think you've been with so many major league teams already?" Julio didn't have an answer for him. It's all about command. He commands the slider there, and he strikes out Josh Wilson.
Well, it's inconsistency is the answer. I mean, he can be lights out from hitter to hitter and then all of a sudden lose it. And sometimes that's all about concentration. We saw it in New York. I mean, he came into a ball game, was absolutely terrific for the first hitter, throwing nasty stuff, then all of a sudden just lost it. They walked 3 batters, gave up some hits.
Chad Tracy will come off the bench to pinch hit. Setting the stage for Chad Qualls to enter the 9th. D-back closer. Tracy started at first yesterday, but with the left-handed starter and Manny Parra on the mound, Bob Melvin goes into his rotation with Burns in left and Connor Jackson at first. A 4-run Diamondbacks 8th. With 2 outs, they had a walk and 4 straight hits. Villanueva gave up 2 2/3 of an inning, and Coffey 2 runs in 1/3 of an inning. An infield hit and a questionable call on a double from Tony Clark.
Questionable?
Actually, no question.
No question about that.
Thanks to our fine camera operators.
A blown call down the line and left.
And you never know. I mean, it would have been a strike had it been called foul, and Tony Clark might have come up with a hit.
Might have hit it out of the ballpark. You never know. He might have done Brewers a favor.
He might have made it out, too. That happens sometimes.
It happens. Sometimes you get the break, sometimes you don't.
And down goes Tracy. Julio, a backdoor breaking ball.
Both strikeouts are a result of a slider. Pretty good sliders. One to the right-hander, one to the left-hander, Tracy. Nasty pitch. And he's got good velocity on it. He just like to bottle that delivery and that pitch right there for Julio.
A former closer in the big leagues. He was a closer in Baltimore. Had a 36 save year back in 03. Came up with the Orioles. Since his Baltimore days, he's bounced around. As a matter of fact, he pitched for the Diamondbacks one year. Part of one year back in 06. He's been a Met, been a Diamondback, a Marlin, a Rocky, an Indian, a Brave, and now a Brewer. And that's what Bill Castro was pointing out. Julio was so good in his rookie year in 02, he actually garnered a number of Rookie of the Year votes. Saved 25 games for the Orioles. That was the year Eric Hinsky won the Rookie of the Year. Hinsky won it going away, but Julio picked up some Rookie of the Year votes as well. Been a long time ago for him since those days. Julio spent a lot of time in AAA last year. He went from the Indians to the Braves, and most of his time with the Braves was spent in Richmond. Off the end of the bat. Tough play for Hall. Nice pickup. And the throw is in and out of the glove of fielder. Lopez is safe.
All right, nice play by Billy Hall. I don't know how he made that close. Lopez runs pretty good, particularly from the left side. Got it on the backhand and made a nice off-balance throw. I'm not sure if that ball bounced or not. It was a heck of a play at third base. No, it didn't bounce. That's a play that Prince will tell you he should have made. And he would have been out.
Well, instead of one for the highlight reel, it's going to be an error on Fielder, E3. And the Diamondbacks extend the inning here with a base stealer on.
With 2 outs, nobody on. Similar to the 8th inning.
In the Brewer ninth, Counsell, Hall, and Kendall. As Julio faces Eric Burns. The other issue for Julio, his command with runners on base, which is one of the reasons Castro wanted him from the stretch with nobody on, so it's not such a change in mechanics.
Plus, it's like hitting. I mean, the more moving parts you have, you got your feet moving, your arms moving, your head's moving around. It's more difficult to be consistent with a swing. It's the same thing with pitching. Keep it simple. And when you're having a tough time being consistent with your delivery, you just simplify everything, and that's what I think Bill Castro is trying to accomplish.
Two balls and a strike on Burns with 2 outs. And that one's into left. Braun going back. He's got it. And that's the inning. Scoreless inning for Julio. Good one. Last call for the Crew. They are down 3. Counsell, Hall, and Kendall coming up.
Shipping. Call 866-280-BATS or visit BigTimeBats.com. $10 from each purchase goes to the Susan G. Komen Fund.
Head to the bottom of the 9th inning. Last call for the Crew in our Menards game reset. Way back when, it was a pitcher's duel between Manny Parra and John Garland. Parra, 6 innings, a season-high 8 strikeouts tonight. Garland went 6 1/3 for the D-backs. The Brewers finally broke free in the 7th. Chris Duffy, an RBI that put the Brewers ahead, but then Tony Clark pinch hitting. That was ruled a double, and 2 runs came in. Snapped a 2-2 tie. Diamondbacks would add another one in the 8th. They scored 4 runs in all on 4 hits in the 8th inning, and they lead it 5-2 as Arizona brings on their closer, Chad Qualls, here for the 9th.
Yeah, Qualls with 4 saves and 5 opportunities for the Diamondbacks, taking over for Brandon Lyon, who was the closer last year. 77 appearances for the Diamondbacks a year ago for Qualls.
Well, it was the bottom of the order that generated the production back in the 8th inning for the Diamondbacks, and now we'll see if the Brewers' bottom of the order can do some damage here in the 9th. In the 7th, when the Brewers scored twice, it was Counsell who started the inning with a double. Hall would be next. And a chopper. Going to be a tough play. Backhanded. Lopez cannot get off a throw. And Craig Counsell has a 3-hit game.
Well, one more base run, then they bring the tying run to the plate. For a little tough to elevate the baseball with Chad Qualls out there. He's got a very good sinking fastball. Gets a lot of ground ball outs. Counsell beats that one into the ground, but right back through the middle. And no play for Felipe Lopez. So leadoff base runner for the Brewers.
Counsell with 2 singles and a double. And he's aboard for Hall, sitting on 99 career home runs. On the ground to short, Wilson fires to second, the turn in time, and just like that, a double play.
That's what he does. That's what he does. He gets the ground ball out. He gets on top of that 2-seamer, and tough to get the ball in the air. A room service double play for the Diamondbacks.
So now the Brewers down to their last out, and it'll be Jason Kendall as they begin to head for the exits here at Miller Park. Well, Arizona scored 4 runs with 2 outs in the 8th. Maybe the Brewers can return the favor. Qualls taking over for Brandon Lyon, who is now in Detroit. Diamondbacks have not had the success from their closer's role since Valverde left 2 years ago, when he led the league in saves. Qualls was part of that deal with the Astros. Well, game 3 tomorrow. We're on WMLW tomorrow. 6 o'clock is airtime. First pitch soon thereafter, and the Brewers are going to face a buzzsaw in Dan Herron. He's one of the best in the business, and a guy who pitched for Ken Maka in Oakland. Well, that's your ball game. Kendall strikes out. Chad Qualls notches the save, and the Diamondbacks a late rally and a comeback win. Final score 5-2. Now stay with us. A lot more coming up. Brewers Live right after the turn.